I grew up in a pretty happy Christian home in Minnesota. I thought I knew what I could expect in life until I became a teenager and our home imploded on itself. There was an affair and a divorce, and we became a broken home. And suddenly I was questioning pretty much everything I had ever known. We did not talk to outsiders about what went on in our home. We didn't tell relatives, I didn't tell classmates, and we didn't tell people at church. And I went into a depression. And so I learned very early to keep secrets and that it wasn't safe to tell my story. And I dropped out of college a couple months in and I tried to commit suicide. I spent some time in 2 mental hospitals. And at the end of 40 days in that second hospital, it looked like I was doing better, but I knew that I wasn't better inside. I felt broken. I felt like a blank slate, and not in a good way. Everything that I had put my hope in, my family, college, and God, had been taken away. I was 19 years old, a college dropout, with no stable family, and no goals or plans. And at that point, I started binging and purging. I would overeat at home in the evenings with nobody there, and I would make myself throw up, and I would eat until I felt sick because it was a way to dull the pain. My best friend introduced me to a nice Christian boy from Texas, and within 6 months, I moved to Texas, and we got married. And here I thought, maybe this is my new start. Maybe this is where it gets better. I got an English degree. I got a teaching job. I thought, I'm doing okay, but on the inside, I still felt broken. My second year of teaching high school, we were studying a unit on the 7 habits of highly effective teens in my English class. As I repeated those lessons 7 times a day about being proactive and beginning with the end in mind, I knew that I needed new habits, and so I began reading my Bible every morning. I began praying. I started to meditate on God's Word. I memorized them on index cards, and I would think about them as I commuted, as I lay in bed, and I could feel my thoughts transforming. I began to feel more positive. Well, a couple years later, I got involved with prayer ministry, and through this ministry, I met a new Jesus. I met a Jesus who had not just come to die for my sins, but to suffer for me and as me. He was abandoned by those closest to him. He was betrayed and abused, and it was so healing and so freeing. And I didn't feel like I had to put up a front anymore. I didn't have to be good enough because we were praying for Jesus to heal us. And I'm just glad to know a Jesus that was willing to suffer and die for me, to give me a new story. My name is Lindsey, and I want more.